New developments with views of luxury aren't always about leisure. Not if you're an artist who has been assigned a space completely exposed to the elements.
Basically, wet weather, we cannot stick the duct tape on the floor. We are kind of running out of time.
What ideas could the artist possibly come up with in just 14 days? Completely exposed. New developments with views of luxury aren't always about leisure. Not if you're an artist who has been assigned a space completely exposed to the elements.
Basically, wet weather, we cannot stick the duct tape on the floor. We are kind of running out of time.
What ideas could the artist possibly come up with in just 14 days?
Can we do this?
Ugly lah!
I think that will work. We just have to find some way to make it stick.
You can't just spend the whole day arguing about duct tape. I am quite bored by people who are extremely sentimental or those who celebrate everything that is new. Maybe my mission as an artist is to create a third position that is informed by these loudest voices in urban discussions, that I might be the one to identify some blind spots that have been overlooked. The reason that I'm interested in failure is that while successful spaces says a lot about pride of the people, I think it's in all these failed spaces that we can get more clues about what keeps us alive, what are our deepest fears and highest wishes or aspirations.
But how will an experienced artist rigid in his ways collaborate with an emerging artist known for her more organic style of working?
We are quite opposite in some ways. Maybe she'll irritate or open me up. For a collaboration to work, we allow ourselves to be vulnerable rather than to hold really strongly to our signature style or method. A lot of my work are quite laborious. The 14-day deadline is gonna either kill me or make me a better artist.
I work a lot from life, from the situation that I'm living in. Speech bubbles was this idea that I have to infuse energy and love into the cosmic universe. We are all breathing creatures, so I wanted to use the idea of a person's breath when they blow into a balloon to capture this breath. I had my hair covering the balloon as though that is another individual itself. So it's almost like inviting the audience to see through a person. And it was a very personal piece for me because there's so much negativity towards people. I don't see a hierarchy here in Singapore, whether there's emerging artists or established artists. You can be the nicest person, but it might be difficult to work with you. Or you can be the most nastiest person in the world, but it's a breeze working with you. So it really depends on this synergy. Hello!
How are you? Oh, okay.
Your
Your
mission
mission
is to create engaging site-specific artwork at the Sentosa Boardwalk.
What the? Where the? Oh.
Spanning 670 meters, the Sentosa Boardwalk is a brand new timber deck footbridge linking the mainland to Sentosa. With its panoramic view of the sea, surely the artist would find inspiration from the surroundings of this gorgeous waterfront site.
This place is quite nice. I kind of like this weird leaves.
This one? This kind of leaves?
Yeah, this very weird tree. Are these no poisonous? No, right?
Maybe we
What
should
about
do
the
this.
cable cars? Fish, fish, fish!
Hey, there, fish, fish. That one looks like shark.
Is it a shark?
It is.
Or maybe not.
It's quite metal, just plain wood everywhere, and it's a bit of a touristy place, so having more local artwork and just showcasing it would be a great thing, you know?
The artwork will be more attractive. So it's something to attract more tourists, more photographers.
I really like to see the artwork around the city. It adds interest and also gives you a little bit of a feel, both traditional and contemporary.
Maybe it would be cool to have a work that get people to walk towards it and go beyond. It should be something challenging.
Raising the bar, you see.
Yeah.
Every time we have an idea, we think, is it raising the bar?
Surprisingly, it's a desert area. So the work has to be very powerful for people to go all out. One of the wish for my artwork is to get people to come down to the boardwalk as opposed to using the more convenient escalator. Although I'm also not in favor of using a method that is too easy to the eye, like delightful, colorful, happy kind of thing to attract people to come down. So there's this dilemma in how to make people rethink about the space and behave differently without going to that level.
This blank canvas is a good thing because you don't have a lot of distractions, but it's really too bad. There's really nothing to work with. I feel if we create an artwork that might respond to this place and we just place it smack here, it's very detached from the environment at the same time. So we're trying to work with or work against this limitation right now.
So this is the second possible site.
This blank canvas has left the artist wondering where to even begin. But the 14-day countdown has already started. And soon, their opposing sensibilities and working styles bring the work to a standstill.
Can we do this?
Ugly lah!
Ugly, yeah. It has to last 6 weeks. This will not last 3 hours.
Artists Michael Lee and Marla Bendini have just 2 weeks to create a site-specific installation at the Sentosa Boardwalk. After initially drawing a blank, both artists seem to have gone the opposite direction with idea after idea. But with the limited amount of time, could there be too many ideas for their own good?
I thought it might be interesting to work on that idea of releasing things into the sea.
Maybe we can work something with a viewfinder.
I also have one that's called text. Something text lah, text on the floor.
We can put like remote control boats for people to interact with.
This one called food and drink stalls.
Another idea, we can work around the theme of luxurious lifestyle. We can do a replica of a sun tanning deck on a cruise ship on the boardwalk itself.
I call it drawing against the backdrop.
So do you have any other ideas?
So we have so many different ideas. We only have 14 days. I think we have to have a cut-off point. We have to decide already.
Decide, yeah.
With just 10 days to go, the artists have finally settled on a concept they have spent a massive amount of time and money researching on. Exploring the social dimensions of fantasy, Dream Dimensions will be made entirely out of duct tape to create plan drawings of a cruise ship. Its simplicity is very much an ironic nod to the views of luxury from the boardwalk.
I think we minimum will need 15.
No, I think we need even more than that.
Yeah,
Our space is so big.
Auntie, 你们这个白色的 tape 多少钱啊？
快半。
买多有没有得减啊？
买一箱啊，
有的剪吗？
2寸的1块半一个啊，1寸的就给你9毛。
$90 will do.
就这样。We title this series Dream Dimensions because I think a lot of human activities, relationships revolves around perception and fantasy.
It's a bit surreal because on one hand we're trying to create very precise life-size spaces, but in certain parts of the deck, the spaces doesn't really make sense. They'll be up on the wall, but we're inviting real people to come here and experience a drawing as an installation.
However, one thing the artist may not have considered is how exposed the boardwalk is to the elements until it begins to pour.
Really?
Cannot get the artifacts here already. Most of the shops are closed. Basically, wet weather, we cannot stick the duct tape on the floor, and now I think we're kind of running out of time.
We were planning to buy some second-hand stuff from the flea market here. And then it started to rain very heavily. So now a bit panic.
With their shopping trip cut short, the artists head back to the studio to start testing the workings of their duct tape art.
Let's get some work done.
Let's just see how it goes.
But this common product proves way too difficult to manipulate.
Oh, this is difficult. I have a feeling it's not going to stick well. Shall we try the boot test?
Good test.
Ready? What is this thing? Does it come off?
Oh my god, it's gone.
It has to last 6 weeks. This will not last 3 hours.
Basically, we did some tests and we realized that it's quite easy to come off. You know, rain and shine and people walking over the duct tape. Yeah. It might just look bad over time.
I'm sure there's a better way to do this. What if we print?
You mean print black on duct tape?
Yeah. Can we do this?
Ugly lah!
Ugly, yeah.
Hey,
Then how?
it will look like it's done by anybody.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't.
Aiyo.
It doesn't. It no longer looks like a Michael Lee or
But this
Marla
one,
Bendini. Okay,
This one, I don't want it to look like Michael Lee or this
Okay,
one. This
no,
one
no,
looks
you
like
see,
done by who?
Okay, we can't just spend the whole day arguing about duct tape. Marla's suggestion of printing black text onto the duct tape, it's great. It makes things easier. But aesthetically speaking, I don't feel that it's a beautiful solution because it's not pure anymore in terms of material.
I'm not saying it's an easy way out, but we are trying to do something beautiful that we can finish in time, that can last.
I'm open to the idea. You don't believe me.
I believe, but I think you're just stressed out.
The text, we do it the day before the launch. I mean, basically to retain the freshness.
To just apply this sentence to an art piece is just maintain the freshness of the art piece. Oh my gosh.
Like dealing with flowers.
Like, seriously. We basically need to do a life-size floor plan drawing on the site.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how we do it.
You're suggesting that we should explore other possibilities, like just drawing on paper and
Drawing
bringing
on
it
paper,
outside.
drawing on anything.
Okay.
We just bought like $100 worth of duct tape.
Stuck with too much duct tape and too little money left over from researching their artwork, the artists need to decide between a compromise on their execution or face the wrath of uncontrollable elements.
Someone tore it off. Yeah. I'm pissed off. We use the chalk to mark
Chalk.
out first now.
Yeah, I think we just step by step, like overall outline.
With an ambitiously intricate concept of cruise ship plan drawings made out of duct tape, the artists had been thrown a complete curveball when their primary material proved too tedious for precise cutting and endurance under wear and tear. The only real way to test it out is to head back to the actual space.
I tend to be very rigid and closed, whilst Marla is a bit more free, organic. My original thought was that we have 3 or 4 boats fully represented. It looked really perfect on paper. And then when Marla saw the sketch, she was like, it's not free, it's not suggestive anymore. So when she showed me her sketch, without representing the entire deck, I thought, hey, actually that works better. Yeah.
How we go up the wall is very crucial. Why not we just go in at the angle but don't curve anymore?
We definitely have quite different sensibility, and I think this difference is complementing each other, I hope. It's perfect, isn't it?
Nice. Well, looking at Michael's previous works, with all the architecture, so the floor drawings and everything, it's like, oh, very, very Michael. But it's also very me lah, because I tend to do a lot of ridiculous work sometimes. I came up with the idea that we should do an installation based on sun tanning, and then he complemented it by using floor plans drawings. So we merged our ideas together. I think it works very, very well. Hey, this is a nice view, leh. Are you enjoying yourself, Michael?
Absolutely.
However, as perfectly as this odd couple complement each other, one of the earliest nightmares that troubled them during the duct tape test comes back to haunt them.
That ugly curved line is because when we try to bend the tape, we just put too much stress on it, and then in the end it just recoils and just flip over. Everything has to look pristine, but at the same time we cannot be very anal about which line is straight or whatever.
Wrong already. Have to redo.
Which part?
These are furniture, so we have to replace this medium thickness one with a skinny one.
Alright.
My greatest worry right now would be like when we come back on Sunday, on the launch day, that everything has been cleaned up. That would be quite nightmarish, which meant we would have to redo everything within that 4 hours.
But there is no time left. Redoing anything would be a massive undertaking. The artists have decided to include a performance by role-playing different characters on a cruise ship at 6 in the evening. With only a couple of hours left to touch up the artwork for the public, they are greeted with the same problem that has plagued them from the very beginning.
It's a bit worrying because it could mean that no matter how strong we think we have pasted the stickers, over time things will drop off bit by bit.
But wear and tear is not the only problem.
What? Eh?
Someone tore it off.
Either our do not remove sign is removed.
Gone also. Hiya. Seriously, did they think this is like guerrilla art? It takes time one eh. It's not just come in and go out one, Someone actually took out the whole strip over here. It was deliberately like ripped off here. Yeah, so we have to work on this thing again. I disbelieve actually. I'm pissed off. But, there's nothing we can do about it.
It's now become a battle against time to clean the ship in time for the launch. But turns out, the intense cleaning wasn't necessary. The sudden downpour threatens to ruin an artwork that has already faced constant problems with adhesiveness all along. But determined that the show must go on, the artists refuse to stop. And then, as if on cue, the sun reappears in time as Dream Dimensions sets sail.
Admission is free.
Thank you.
We'll start the boarding at 6.
With its unmissable presence stretching across the boardwalk and even up against its walls, the massive duct tape plan drawings leave many in amazement as they try to imagine and figure out the space they've stumbled upon.
It's a good thing to have a new things at the background, new concept. I think this is a floor plan, right? A top view, something like that. So it enhanced the boardwalk.
I think it's very appropriate that they do a dream ship. Yeah. And I mean the form is in a plan view. So it actually got the audience, which is the passengers, to really visualize and think about what this is all about. Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised by the scale of it.
At first, I thought it was like sort of a prank. Honestly, I haven't seen any kind of like this, but it's kind of cool because it's a new concept.
It's special, and like when you walk past, you're curious to find out what it's like, so it engages people to be more curious.
I really love the use of space. I think it's quite a surprise to come here and see this and how it's getting people on board. I think to be involved in the artwork, that really is something that has really, really intrigued me. I love it.
The best part of the experience is how people came for the performance and really enjoyed the interaction with the artwork. They didn't just walk past and just, there's drawings on the floor and just walk on by.
I enjoyed it, but it was tough actually. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, but eventually things fell into place. Yeah.
Before the installation performance, it just started raining and it washed off everything clean, all the chalk, all the markings we made on the floor. And then during the performance, they did new drawings, and then after the performance, it started raining again. It's like the installation just resets on its own.